So today you are a business advisor.
Yep.
You work with corporates. You mentor founders. Uh, so what do you think uh, is the difference in the work ethic? You worked in a company
Yeah.
that you believe are the best practices that you think can be brought into the corporate world
Yeah.
from this experience of yours.
So for me, first and foremost, it's a commitment to excellence. Now, a lot of companies say they care about excellence and they have really high standards. You know, they have these beautiful slogans, but oftentimes when you look under the cover or behind the facade, there's a lot of things slipping through the cracks. And so for me, that excellence comes first and foremost from the values of the organization and how those values are lived every day and not just, a nice motto to have on a wall. But then the excellence also comes from the people, of course, right? So it's, how are you recruiting? Where are you recruiting from? And then how are you training people? Because, you can have the smartest people from, any Ivy League institution, but they're not going to have the specific skills for that specific role. So you have to train them properly and get them to, understand how your specific business operates. And then I think a lot of companies do that well. They'll recruit well and they'll train well. Where so many companies, and this is just as true for smaller, earlier stage startups as it is for multinational companies with tens of thousands of employees, where they really start sort of falling apart is in having the difficult conversations with their workforce. So if you want excellence from people, you can't settle for second best. You can't settle for mediocrity. You can't. Often what I hear from companies is, oh, we have a difficult employee or a difficult team member. We're just going to make them somebody else's problem. This idea of shifting that problem child to somebody else happens everywhere. And I think that's so damaging for the company, of course, because then all of a sudden you have effectively dead weight, sort of weighing you down. It also erodes the morale of the other people who are trying hard, who are giving it their best, who are, sort of the high performers, because they see, oh, well, this person's just, showing up and sort of punching a clock and doing very little else, but they still get a job and they still get paid. So it erodes the morale of the people who are doing their jobs. And then it's also really damaging to the person who is the problem, because if nobody ever sits them down and says, hey, look, this is where you're struggling. This is where we think your performance can improve. And these are the tools that we will give you, or the training we will give you to help you improve on those things. Then that person never gets the opportunity to actually do better or become better. So it's not helping anybody by pretending the problem doesn't exist, but so many managers, leaders, etc., don't want to have that difficult conversation because they feel it's awkward, or maybe they're worried about a lawsuit or whatever it is. And so I think it's having the strength of leadership to finally say to somebody, hey, look, this isn't going to work for us anymore. You're not performing, or this is the problem, and this is what. And then have a conversation. Don't say, oh, well, this is it's either you do this or you do that or you're leaving. It's, hey, this is how we see the problem. What do you think about it? Do you also recognize that you are perhaps underperforming? Because sometimes people will. Sometimes people will think, oh, well, I haven't been doing my best, but I can get away with it. Or other people just don't know how to do better, and they do need training. They need some mentoring. They need some upskilling, whatever it is. So give them the opportunity to improve. And then if everybody's on the same page about what the problem is and how they can improve it, and then the problem persists, then that's a different conversation. But at least give them the chance to improve. Because, like I said, so many companies get this wrong. They have sometimes thousands of people weighing them down across, for the bigger companies where, global and tens of thousands of people. And that's not serving anyone. Like I said, it's not serving the company. It's going to devalue the morale and the reputation of the other, the team members. And it also keeps the person who is the problem child from ever improving themselves. And so they'll always go through life just sort of mediocre. And that, again, is not the way a true leader lets people sort of, operate within their organization.